Welcome to Chris VEVE Journey, where I take you on a trip to VEVE, always as an adventurer, never as a financial advisor, so please invest with caution. Today I will do two things. I will present to you 10 pieces under $100 where you can invest in the VEVE app, but not invest in the sense like making money, but rather invest in some cool collectibles, play around in the app, try to get a feel for the app and how everything works and have fun with it rather than try to make a financial investment like 90% of the users do. After that, we will also talk about the data from the new Iron Man drop from the Golden Moments Disney collection. Will be fun to see if those commons will also have been reduced again, because the ones from the upcoming drop today will be reduced. And yeah, we check that out and we will start right after the intro. And we are back. So that's the Golden Moments one, but I wanted to start with the other stuff, right? We wanted to start with all the pieces. Yes, so that's the top 10. It's not a top 10 from top to bottom or from bottom to top. Neither of those. It's just 10 pieces I chose, which I think are a nice investment, a fun investment. And I will let you know if I think it's also an investment in value. So the first one, we'll start with the Captain America. So that is actually the rare. And with $89, the rare is pretty cheap. So an important thing, if you're new, usually these pieces have an FA in front of the mint number. The mint number is the number on the bottom. And FA would mean that these pieces are a first appearance. And even though this is the first big Captain America we see, it's not a first appearance in that sense, because there are also the Marvel Mighties on the app. Marvel Mighties, I'm not talking about those, but those are actually the cheapest ones you can get, because there's some Marvel Mighties you can get for 9 or even 10 bucks. So that's the cheapest 3D collectibles, but there's a whole bunch of them, and I'm not a big fan of the chibi style, but I highly recommend you check them out. If it's your thing, it's a pretty easy thing to get very fun characters, because they look like a lot of fun. They really have a lot of expression, so that's pretty interesting, but I would rather go with statues and yeah, in regular bigger pieces, let's say it like this. So that's a Captain America. I'm not the biggest fan of the design, let me tell you that. That's why I didn't buy it. I did buy the Captain America from the Marvel Mighties one, because that was a cheap one. I guess I paid 14 bucks for it, and that's the first appearance. So, but maybe I will get this one. I mean, that's a rare. It has 5 rarities. It goes from common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, and secret rare. So the last 2 are really expensive, but this is actually, with the third one, it's pretty much up the ladder. And 89 bucks is pretty cheap. So if you like Captain America, that might be right down your alley. Check out the design and let me know. Also, if you find this helpful, you are very welcome to like and even subscribe. That would be awesome. So that's the second one. So this is Barbara Gordon, also known as Batgirl. And as you can see, it has the FA tag. So that's the first appearance of Batgirl. She starts at 31 bucks. That is so cheap. That is even cheaper than what the cost was during the drop. I guess she was going for 40. So that's a nice 25%, right? And yeah, it's a pretty nice statue. Overall, great design. I'm not the biggest fan of the era of that suit. That has more to do with the writer. I'm not going to get into that too much, but yeah, he has quite the history. So I'm not a fan of the design in general, but I guess just from the aesthetics standpoint, it looks pretty great, and it's a fun character. It's a fun statue. It's really cheap, and this is one of the few where I think there will be potential gains in the future if we're talking value. So that is pretty interesting one. People really sleep on that piece. So next one is Alligator Loki. So if you watch the Disney Plus Loki show, that is the little alligator Loki that we saw there. This is the cheapest one we have, and with 22 bucks, that's really cheap. Overall prices are down right now, so right now is like a good time to get in and just buy stuff that's fun. If you want to spend 100 bucks, it's pretty good timing. I mean, no financial advice, I said that before, but I guess better now than later, because all these prices will get a little bit higher in time. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, so that's one that is not moving. All the stuff I show you, mostly all of it is not moving. So there is a moving piece, the ultra rare, and I guess even the secret rare. I guess it was ultra rare. Yes, ultra rare and secret rare. Those two were moving, but they are way more expensive. A few $100 is the cheapest one. So with 22 bucks, then not much you can do wrong here, right? And I think I like it. I mean, the posture of the character is pretty much fun. It looks pretty great, so I'm a big fan of this piece. And this is Thor, Frog of Thunder. So that's from the Thor comics. There was actually even in the Disney Plus show with Loki, we even saw that one. You got a little glimpse of it in the little glass jar. So that's a frog that literally becomes a Thor version when he picks up a shard of Thor's hammer. That's a lot of fun actually. And getting the uncommon, that's the cheapest one there is, for 40 bucks is pretty cheap. And he's also a first appearance, and that is also a piece where I would say, yeah, there are potential gains in the future. Maybe a little longer ahead, so not like in a year or what. But interesting one. And it looks great. And VEVE is actually working on the VEVEverse. That's something like a metaverse from Facebook. And if you can use avatars, this looks much like an avatar you would be able to use. So yeah, in that case, I see quite potential gains here. So next one. So that's like the banger in the whole top 10. If there was a first place, I guess I would give it to this one. So that's actually SpiderMan, and it's not SpiderMan, just SpiderMan. This is the SpiderMan. It's the first appearance, and it's the first official Marvel NFT after all on the platform, and I guess overall on the platform. Yeah, it's a collectible on the platform, yeah. There were some, I guess, licensed Marvel art pieces, drawings. If I'm not mistaken, those were licensed. I'm not 100% sure on Potion.io. But yeah, as far as collectibles go, that's the one. That's the Spider-Man. So there were 5 Spider-Man: the common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, and secret rare. The ultra rare and secret rare are animated variants, but the uncommon is pretty great. Like 93 bucks for the uncommon is pretty great. It's a great pose. So yeah, also nothing you can do wrong here. Potential gains in the future are very likely, and at least in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it's Peter Parker Spider-Man. Come on, what am I supposed to tell you? So that's like the next best thing if you don't want to spend the 90 bucks. And this was the uncommon. So there is a common with a different pose, also interesting, but you pay almost the same. So you might go up for the higher rarity and the more interesting pose. That's the thing. So here you have a common from a Spider-Man from the Disney show What If? Disney Plus show What If? And that's the MCU Spider-Man when he has the cloak of Doctor Strange. And this one goes for just 30 bucks. So if you try to even get multiple pieces for 100 bucks, that's a good way to go to get a Spider-Man. Also from the design, pretty likely that this could become an avatar in the VEVEverse. So, I mean, 30 bucks, just almost nothing, right? That's pretty cheap. So those are statues, and that's the Batman Who Laughs. It's a pretty new character in the Batman books, but also a pretty successful new villain in the Batman books. Also a first appearance that was even added after the initial launch because people demanded it, and they were right, because that is not a Batman, that is something else. And with 46 bucks, pretty cheap. Potential gains in the future, I see them coming because comic fans really love this character. When this character came out, all the Comic Cons, at every Comic Con, there was someone cosplaying as this character because it's so cool. And from the same line, we have also this Robin. This is not Dick Grayson Robin. Dick Grayson is probably the Robin most of you guys know. But this is the Robin that is the Robin in the comics right now for more than 10 years. This is the actual son of Batman, not just a ward, but his actual son. Again, 45 bucks. So gains are more than likely for this one in the future. It looks pretty damn great. It's a great character in the comics also. So that's a great piece. And last but not least, a 1 in 6 DeLorean, and that's an interactive one. So when you use the 3D model in the app, you can touch it and the doors open. It's also animated. You can see the flux compensator work, and you can get this piece for just 30 bucks. That is pretty cheap. That is pretty great. So there are two different versions. There is this one, that's the animated one in 1 in 6 scale. I guess the scale will only matter in the VeVeverse if we get it, because if you use the AR function on the phone, it doesn't matter if you use the small one or the big one. Potentially will be drivable at some point. Not sure, but when this was first released, you could actually drive it. That was like fun. So there's also a rare version for around 70 bucks. But this is not interactive. You can't open the doors. It doesn't have anything moving on it. So this one is a little bit more interesting. And if you want this one in the 1:1 size, original size piece, that goes for above 400 bucks. So for 30 bucks, you get a really great piece, a lot of fun in it. I still need to buy this, but I will buy this for sure because it's pretty great. So that's it for the top 10. I think, so there's variety. You can get one piece in for about 90 bucks if you want to go for the Spider-Man, for example. Or you get a Spider-Man for 30, get another one for 20 like Loki. Get this piece for 30 and what do we got? 80. Okay, then you would have 20 bucks left. So maybe you can go for some comics. There's also comics on the app, but I was concentrating on the collectibles for this part. So done with that, let's get to the news. Here we are. So this will be the drop. After today's drop, we will see this Marvel drop, also Disney Golden Moments. Iron Man statue. Looks great. It looks a lot like this is the armor Iron Man used in the Infinity War movie. Pretty much that's the one. Again, blind block, $60. Ooh, I'm sorry. It's 2 in the morning. I'm sorry. So edition size 12,333 pieces. So which is interesting because the one before, like the one that's dropping today, is just 10,333 pieces. But before, all the other ones were 12,000. So interesting that it's just the Pixar one that is less. And then we go back to 12,000 again. Will be even more interesting to find out tomorrow how many editions we will see on the Star Wars drop, especially on the rare one. Because the rare one is just half the amount of editions, 6,333. Yes, so nothing special here. Let me know which one would you enjoy more. The sign because it's special, or do you want the Iron Man armor? I think most will go for the Iron Man armor. And will be interesting to see the prices. I had a plan today. I made like a stupid mistake. In the Simpsons drop, I got the skateboard twice and I got a Humor, so I was pretty lucky. But today I thought I needed more gems for the drop. So my idea was, instead of selling my one of the two skateboards, I would just sell off Humor like an hour before for 190 gems, and potentially after the drop just buy back Humor, which didn't work out because for whatever reason Humor started to pump, and in the meantime he was at above 400 already. So I have no idea what that was, but it was a stupid idea to let it go in the first place. Should have just sold the second skateboard, and now I'm not sure if I'm even going to get him anymore. I could potentially sell the skateboard and buy Humor back, but yeah, I'm actually thinking about selling some stuff and buying Superman. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. What can I tell you? So that was just from my drop. Yeah, the Elsa drop, I didn't get Elsa, but I did get the rare one, even the 3-digit rare from the magic hat from Mickey Mouse. So that's pretty awesome, I guess. But still, it's the Elsa piece that is pumping instead of the head. So let's see what the future will bring for that one. Yeah. Let me know, do you like this format? Do you like to get like something like a top 10? Is it interesting? Are you a new viewer? Are you just new to VeVe? Is this interesting for you guys? Did it help out? That I would like to know. Let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, like and subscribe.